Since I saw you guys last, I have had a string of massive disasters. I don't even know where to begin. First of all, I lost the drone. It was a brand new drone that I bought specifically for this trip. It cost 1,400 quid. And I bought it because when it loses signal, it's supposed to fly back to you, and it has obstacle avoidance sensors. So it's supposed to avoid anything and come back to where it took off from. It failed. But the worst thing for me was the fact that I lost 2 days worth of footage. Now this channel, these videos and this trip mean everything to me, and that footage was essential to tell the story of my journey. So to say that I was gutted was an understatement, and from there I just had to go and replace the drone. Now I couldn't even afford to buy it in the first place. After building this van, it cost a lot more than I thought it was going to. But these things have to be done. I whipped out a credit card and I've replaced the drone. And then I woke up this morning hoping to start again a fresh adventure, but it was freezing cold. During the early hours of this morning, my heater had packed up again. Now luckily where I'm staying at the moment, it's only about minus 14 degrees, so it isn't the end of the world, but it got down to minus 4 degrees inside the van before I managed to get it working again. I basically just reset it time and time again until it kicked back in. So I thought I would not let that deter me from a new adventure today. I have my sights set on Sweden. I've heard over there at the moment it's minus 30 degrees and I wanted to experience that mad cold temperature. So I started heading in that direction, but the road has closed. Around here the roads get so dangerous. Honestly, some places the snow could just start blowing in front of you when you're driving and you can't see a thing. So my only option at the moment is to hang around this area until tomorrow. Hopefully when I wake up the heating will still be working, the road will be open, and I'll be able to head to Sweden and turn myself into an actual ice cube. It was a little bit windy in that spot. I didn't really fancy staying there tonight, so I've come a little bit further up the road. And behind me is actually the blockade. You can see in the background there's a few lorries up there waiting by the stop sign, and no idea how long they're going to be waiting. But I personally am just tucking myself up in this little lay-by area here. Over here, right, there's some sort of map thing, and on top you can see just how thick that snow actually is. And over the road here, believe it or not, this entire thing here is a lake. It's now minus 18 degrees. Once again, I'm not wearing gloves, so I'm going to jump in a van, warm up, and fingers crossed for the morning. I haven't bothered putting my jacket on, so I'm just going to be real quick out here. But I just wanted to see what's going on with the traffic, because according to my maps, it's still shut. That's good. Oh, they're still waiting. I can't see that they're going to reopen that road at this time of night, so what are they going to do? I guess they're just going to wait there all night. I think most of them are lorries, so they've probably got the old heaters in there. In fact, if mine cuts out, I might be knocking on their door later. Have they cleared? God, it's bright as hell out here. Have they cleared the road? That is the big question. And oh no, they actually haven't. What the hell? I genuinely thought they had. I thought I was about to breeze on out of here and go over to Sweden. But fear not, we are going to visit the extreme cold in this series. It might not be today, but it's going to happen. But in the meantime, I have come up with a fiendish plan, an adventure and a half, possibly quite dangerous, but we'll just skip over that bit. Well, I'll say we'll find the extreme cold during this series, but some people would say it already has been extreme cold. It got down to minus 20 in the night. But there is no time for weather talk right now, because I need to go and buy some snowshoes. I don't think you sell these in here, but I'm looking, I need to buy some snowshoes, like
Yeah, we don't have those.
do you know any sort of shop around here that would?
Yeah, maybe if you follow me I can check on the computer.
Okay, that guy was really helpful. He told me there's 3 sport shops around here, but they're all going to rip me right off apparently. He's told me about another one. It is about a 2-hour drive from here, but it's in the direction that we got to drive anyway. I've got to say I'm pretty excited to own my first ever pair of snowshoes.
If you just come around so you can...
Yeah, that's the ones, yeah.
Okay, so if you go around the corner to outdoor hunting,
Yep.
there will be someone there to help you.
Perfect, thank you very much. Apparently they're in the hunting section, which reminds me, I also need one of these. I reckon I need one about that sort of size. We don't want to go overboard. I mean, look at those. They're like little boats.
This one that you can take up because when you're going in terrain, it will get much easier on your legs.
Right, okay. Thank you very much for your help.
No problem.
The sun has all but vanished. I didn't realise I've still got about an hour and 45 minutes till I get to the park up. So I'm going to get that drive out of the way and then I'll fill you in on the plan. It's a bit dark, so I doubt you're going to recognise where I am. But for those who watched the last episode, this is where I stayed towards the end of that. And it's also where I filmed the incredible Northern Lights show, which I was lucky enough to witness. And the fact that I've just driven about 3 hours to get back to this spot might give you a little bit of a clue as to why I'm here. Okay, let's get you up to speed. So, the previous episode we started around about here, and the plan was to end up around about here, but it actually only ended up around about here. I ended the video, and the following morning, that was when disaster struck. I flew the drone and the digital bird ended up a victim of the mountain. On a side note, I've just found out something mental. That there is permanent marker, right? And then this one's just like a whiteboard marker so I can rub it off for my temporary plans. But that's my permanent plans, right? As you can see, it don't rub off. If you put a whiteboard marker on top of it, then it rubs off. My capabilities are beyond science now. That is incredible. Anyway, from there, I drove around here to a town called Narvik, and that is where I started this morning, right next to the Swedish border. From there, I was planning on trotting off into Sweden to find the extreme cold, but that didn't work, so we have looped back around, took a slight detour to buy my snowshoes, and then we've come straight back to this spot here. Now, it has been brought to my attention. Hold on, I need to sit down for this bit. This is the important bit. It has been brought to my attention that saved inside the drone's controller are the flight records for the final flight. So you're not able to actually get the full GPS coordinates off of this thing, but what you can do is you can see the path of the last flight on a map. But the fact that I now have the last known point of the drone is essential to this mission. Now all I really have is a picture of some trees, and I've pinpointed the exact tree which it was last known to be above, and then I found that exact same tree on the satellite view of the Apple Maps. Now obviously there's every chance I might get eaten by a moose or attacked in the face by a poisonous toad, but I think this is worth the risk. We may not succeed in bringing the digital bird home, but in our hearts we will know that we tried with all our might. Oh, and there's one more thing that I want to show you guys before I go to bed, just to stop you from laughing at me in the morning. I'm going to prepare you early. Now it's not that, they're my snowshoes, obviously. You can't laugh at them, and that's just my axe. Forget about that. This here, right? Now, this isn't something which I've just bought today. I actually bought this on, I think, the first day in Norway, right down south. It was in a shop, and I thought it was a thermal one-piece suit ready to keep you warm in Arctic temperatures. And I've been looking forward to wearing it ever since. But it turns out there might have been a bit of a language barrier, and I checked it today on the translation app, and what I've actually bought is a buoyancy suit. It's for sailors in case they fall in the water and they can just float about like a leaf in a stream. But if I'd taken a closer look, there is actually clear English there which says buoyancy aid. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't really laugh about it, because snow is effectively just made of water, right? And water is a fish's house, and fish's houses are often cold. Probably they made that in mind with the fish's house. Good morning, people. I am all ready to go. I can tackle the largest body of water and bob along like a little duck. But I want to address something, right? And this is starting to really wind me up. You know when you park in the middle of nowhere in a big car park, and you park right at the back so you're not near anyone, and then someone rocks up in the middle of the night and they park right next to you. I mean, what is it all about? It's winding me up to the point where I'm actually going to have a go at this geezer. I'm not standing for it, mate. I've literally had enough. Is there any reason why you decided to put... Hang on a sec. You're the Arctic Wanderer. Obviously, I'm playing around. For those who don't know, this is Alex Frood. He's got his own channel when he comes up here every year, so he's a lot more experienced than me. What's the channel? It's Mispronounced Adventures?
Mispronounced Adventures.
Mispronounced. Did that joke go straight over your head?
It did, yeah.
Yesterday, Alex was in Finland, 11 hours away from here, And I let him know about this rescue mission. You went on your own one last year, right?
Yeah, I did. I climbed the tree.
He's climbed a tree in the Arctic to rescue a drone before, so I thought who better to bring along than Alex. So the lay-by that I found that's closest to the spot of the drone's temporary cemetery, I say temporary because she will be risen from the dead, is literally only 2 minutes away. So during the flight I took her all over these mountains here. There's a huge mountain over the front. I think that's the one that I was filming. But this one in front of us here now, this is the one where I believe she landed, up in amongst those trees. And looking at it now, I don't know what it looks like on the camera, but that is steep. There's just sheer rock faces to the right now, and that's where we've got to get to. Let's just hope there's a clearer access point when we get to this lay-by. So basically, as you're coming up this bit, right, there's pylons. See those 3 trees there, where they're like...
Yeah, that bit there.
Yeah. And then next to that, there's a clump there. That's exactly where it is. But like I say, that's just the point where it was last known to be hovering above.
Yeah.
God, it's a bit bright today. Have you got shades?
Sunny's on.
Do you reckon I should bring some?
Probably. It's going to be bright white for a couple of hours.
Right, how do they work then?
Right, loosen up the back, loosen up both the sets of bindings. So you need them standing up.
Standing up?
Yeah. So now, just sort of like try and kick it a little bit into place. You want that toe to get straight to the front of it.
Right, we're strapped into the snowshoes. We tried to get Alex some last night, but where he was getting here at 4 AM, he didn't have time to get to the shop. And they didn't have the ones that he wanted when I went to the shop. So Alex is soldering it out with normal shoes. And I'm the only professional here with the prepared shoes. This is how unhealthy I am. The van is down there. I've only made it to here so far. Alex is a bit further ahead. And I'm already out of breath. Walking in these things, I don't know if it's easier or harder, because when you pull your feet up, you're dragging loads of snow out. You are just going to have to deal with the fact that I'm going to be heavily breathing in every clip. And Alex is going to be breathing like a champion. Fair enough. We're at checkpoint number 1, so we've got 3 of these massive pylons that go up the side of the mountain. Oh, I didn't realise this. I thought he was joking when he was saying it. Apparently across my back, it says...
Regatta Norwegian lifeguard.
Alex's footprint has decided to peel away from his shoe. Should we stick that on eBay?
Oh, we can make good money for that. That's art.
For those who've been following me from the beginning, my first ever road trip, I ended up in Wales and I climbed a mountain. Snowdon, the north of Wales, is the tallest mountain in Wales. And I struggled hard. And I told myself that day that I was going to start getting healthier and start getting fitter. But guess what? I have done nothing other than eat toasties and burgers and pizzas. I don't know how much more I can do with this. My snowshoes are now just caving through. That's my knee there. I'm up to my knee already. Alex is a bit ahead. He's made it further than me. But I'm going to catch up. I'm not giving up just yet. Is it the tortoise? The tortoise wins the race, mate.
Indeed.
I am aware that some of you guys at home are probably used to doing things like this, and you're probably laughing at me right now because it doesn't seem that tough. First of all, I'll admit I'm finding it harder than most would. But secondly, the camera doesn't do it justice. It really is. Some of these parts are almost vertical. I'll try and show you as an example. So from here, it just looks like a nice steady slope. But over there, right, if you can see the tip of my finger, that there is the top of a tree. I'm literally on the edge of a mountain now. These aren't our tracks, that's tracks from some sort of animal. See, Alex's tracks are deep as anything now. But he's made it over the first major obstacle. We've made it to, well, you can see the pylon in the background somewhere. So basically right now we are, oh, where are we? We are 114 metres above sea level. When we were down where we took off from, we were 25 metres above sea level. So 114 minus 25 is what? 89. And that's exactly what it said it was on the drone. So we right now are at the precise altitude of the drone.
Yeah.
So that means it must be on the ground rather than up a tree.
One can hope.
I think we've still got about 80 more metres to go across. But you never know. This could be a success. I've never appreciated a flat bit of ground before as much as this. When you're as experienced a climber as me, whoa! You can't let trees get in your way. You just have to power on through them. That is why they call me Ads Grills. This is probably the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. I'll do this on a daily basis if I had to. It looks like the reason why it seemed like we were at the same level as the drone is because we have to go back down a hill. So if it had crashed into the top of a tree at any point, that makes sense because we're in line with the tops of a load of trees now. It's probably lost signal somewhere around there, and then it must have tried to come home maybe, or just keep flying after it lost signal, hit the tops of some of these down there. But the bad news is, that means we've got to go downhill. Well, that's not the bad news. The bad news comes after that. We have to come back uphill. I think the drone was coming from... Oh no, that's it. That's what I've sent the drone up for. I wanted to get this exact shot here that we're in, right? So I sent the drone from down there. I sent it up there, and it was hovering around up by the top of that mountain, facing that way. I got a nice shot of that, and then I saw something over here which I wanted to film. So I spun the drone round, facing that way, and then I started drifting it over here. When it told me that it lost signal, I pushed left on the stick, just in case there was any danger, and I pushed up on the stick to try and send it back the way it came, basically. But whether or not that did anything, I don't know. I've got to say, these snowshoes are good in some situations, but on steep hills, they're like skis, and every now and again, you can't even rest your hand to get yourself back up because of what happens. You go right through. Okay, my shade's still on my head. Let's go. We have reached the clump of trees, which was the last known location. How you doing over there, mate? You lost your legs?
It's pretty deep.
So according to the elevation app, I am standing at 110. So 110 minus the 25 makes 85. So it's 4 metres above me. So effectively, if I come from in the distance there, you've got to find the closest tree to the edge of the clump. It'll be the furthest tree in this clump, mate. Is that you? I'm looking on my screen. Is that you? Oh no, that's your bag. Where the hell are you?
Down here.
Oh, you're down there. So I'm leaving the snowshoes there and my bag, so I've got less weight to carry. I'm going to crack on into the heart of the clump. I mean, since it's been, what, 3 days since I lost it. Do you reckon it would have... It hasn't snowed that much here, has it? You don't really need to tie your shoelaces in the Arctic, do you? Because they're just like long metal rods, effectively, once they're frozen. I might try and eat my Chinese with that later. Chopsticks. I'm just going to have to leave my frozen shoelaces for now. That's the least of my worries.
Yeah, there we go. There's my pin. It says we're about 6 metres maybe from that last GPS track we had.
So, we are exactly where the drone was last encountered. Now, if I were a drone and I was up there, hovering about...
I think we should call off the search.
What do you mean? We can't call off the search. We've come 1,000,000 miles. I nearly died 4 times.
Oh, it's there.
Are you actually... It is! Whoa! That genuinely is the digital bird. Look at it go! I can't believe we have found the digital bird. Gosh, she must have had a rough ride going through these trees. I've got to capture the final moment on camera of your glorious victory. I can keep up with my record and say I've never in my life lost a drone. Alex, mate, I don't know if you're in the shot because I can't see the screen.
Just about.
But thank you
The
so much.
drone's not.
The drone's not. There's the drone. You're an absolute legend.
No problem at all.
Look at her iced right over, but she does look in good condition, to be fair. The memory card slot's covered over. This is literally the best thing that's happened to anyone ever. Apart from the other day I saw a pigeon outside the shopping centre in the town that I went to. We are just about starting to lose daylight. We've made it in time. We're back out of the clearing of the woods and onto the top of the steep downward slope. But this bit's going to be easy. I think I might, honestly, it's so much easier without the snowshoes. But I think for the way down, I might put them back on so that I could pretty much ski my way down to safety. You missed me on the steepest section, but I am like a springbok flying through. Like, whoa! Whoa! Who needs to pay for skiing when you... This is amazing! Just to point out, I've never been skiing in my life! Whoa-hey! Alex seems to think that this is a good idea, going off the sheer drop. This is the bit that's probably not advisable for a sheer amateur like myself. Whoa, it's too late! I have no choice! I'm coming, Alex. Don't you worry about me, my son. And just like that, we have made it back to the vans. I didn't struggle once, breezed through that.
Not at all.
It was amazing, but now can I just be honest for a second? If you wouldn't have come to join me on this trip, genuinely, I would have made it about a third of the way up there and I would have given up. Not even joking. It's only the fact that I could see him in front of me and I was like, I can't give up. Do you know what I mean? He was breezing through. So honestly, not only the fact that you were the first person to get eyes on the drone, but the fact that you were here, that was just incredible. I've got to say, good job, sir. Mission complete. Look at the damage she's received. The tips of the propellers have gone there, the sides of the propellers have gone there, and the tips have gone there. She's been to drone hospital, she's had some new propellers, she's got a new battery, she's been fed a cookie. I hate to disappoint you guys, but I am back in my civilian clothes, and now there's only one thing left to do. Come on, you beauty. Oh, it's only got 14 satellites. I think it needs more than 15. Takeoff permitted.
Point updated.
Right.
Okay, the moment of truth. You can do the honours. Let's see if she will take to the sky. And she is off! Look at her go! Soaring high! A mission well done. We only had one little drink in the pub last night and then we came here and Alex fed me some sort of, I don't know what it was, magic in a bottle. Here is the Arctic wanderer himself.
Morning sunshine.
How you feeling this morning?
My head is a little bit on the fragile side.
Just letting the engine warm up before I drive off, but do you want to know something mental, right? Out here, so I've got some water in my fridge, and at the moment, you know, I can't use my sink because it's all frozen up underneath. So I clean my teeth and then I get out and I wash my toothbrush just with water pouring over the end. The water in my fridge, when you're outside the van and you're pouring over the toothbrush and cleaning it like that, it feels warm. That's like compared to the outside, that cold fridge water feels really nice and warm on your hands. It's mental. Right now I'm headed back to pretty much the same place where I started this video, and that is the town of Narvik. And the fact that I now have the drone back so I can show you some of this landscape, well, that's just an added bonus. Just pulled up at the store where I bought my drone from. If you hadn't guessed yet, that is exactly what we're doing right now. It's time to return it. I've got a receipt in there. I haven't opened it yet, so it shouldn't be any issues. So there is the drone itself, and that is the receipt. I feel like a warrior coming back from battle. It's not even been opened. It's yeah, I bought it from this guy the other day. I recognise him. We found my old drone, so we don't need this one. But it's brand new, unopened. Perfect. Thank you so much. And just like that, we are victorious. The money has been returned to its rightful owner. What a beautiful end to an absolute epic adventure. I just want to say, as always, a big thank you to everyone who's been watching this series so far. It isn't over quite yet. From here, I'm not 100% sure what to do. Obviously, I still do want to find those extreme -30-degree temperatures. Whatever we end up doing, stay tuned, and I will catch you guys next week. Look at it. Look at it go. I'm buying it.